right, welcome back. Mike Morgan's my name. I'm with Chef Randall here, and we are in the Cashway kitchen. And today we're going to be utilizing, and I've noticed that over the course of our shows, that you've been able to utilize things for one meal and then bring it on over to the other. Case in point.
Case in point.
Right here. Tell us what that is.
That's our Northern Prairie barbecue rub.
Yes.
And actually I designed that to go with something like a spatchcock chicken. So when we say spatchcock, what we mean by that is that, actually we have to do some surgery here.
Okay.
Yes. And what we're doing is we're going to take the backbone out, we're going to open up the keel, and then that just opens up the chicken. And really the idea of this is that it's something that you can cook like on a, some people have those big kind of like ceramic type style outdoor grills, you know, or a smoker of some sort. And it's really kind of, that's kind of the design of this. Rather than cooking the whole bird, it takes a little bit longer. This is a little bit, you know, less time, but still gives you that whole chicken kind of quality.
Let's see how you cut it up here.
So what we're going to first do is just going to remove some of these wings. So those go away. And I might use that for stock or something like that, but it's just the tips. So those are just kind of going away. Everything else I keep. If I have any excess amount of fat in that cavity, I might take that out. And then what I like to do is I like to start from the Pope's nose and then come this way. So really what we're going to do is we're going to just, you know, come down the back of it. And if you have poultry shears, you can use the same, you know, you can use poultry shears, or you could go from this way.
And here's where that good sharp knife comes in handy.
This is handy, yes. And we're just to remove that backbone. And then like a lot of times, you know, I like to move the chicken to work with me. So, you know, rather than, you know, me contorting and doing all these, you know, odd kind of shape, you know, things, I let, you know, make the chicken turn, you know, work with me. That way I know that I can control that knife and have very little concern that I'm going to cut myself with it. So that's what I do.
And you had it in some paper towels, again, to take the moisture off of it?
Yes, exactly. We've talked a lot about that with the things that we cook. It's just that, you know, a lot of people will want to, you know, cook that, you know, chicken or wash it. And I really am not a big fan of the washing chicken. The reason why is that, boy, I'm having a hard time here.
Okay, you seem to be having a little trouble with that knife. How about we use some shears?
Absolutely, and poultry shears are actually probably one of my more preferred ways of going at this, just because I kind of feel more confident in doing it, and you can see I get much better outcomes on that as well. All right, so we got that. So we got that first part done.
Okay.
Now we have this section in here. Now it's already kind of split on us. So what we want to do is we want to just expose that keel bone. And sometimes you have to put a little notch in there. And then that exposes that keel bone. So there it is. And if we run our fingers down both sides, we're able to then basically kind of pull that out in one shot.
There it goes.
Okay.
You make it look so easy.
So now there's our spatchcock chicken.
Okay.
You know, we've cut it in half, and then we're keeping it intact for the most part. If we wanted to, we could kind of come in here and just kind of
clean it out a little bit.
Yep. But now I'm going to turn it over to you.
Time to do some little seasoning.
And I'm going to have you season it and both sides, and then we'll put a little oil on that.
Okay.
So why don't you go ahead and season it? Since I'm have a little bit of chicken now, you could go a little lighter on that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Now, just a little bit lighter. And so we'll go now over to the next side here. And we'll go ahead and give me a little more there. Good. All right, very good. Now give me a little oil. And perfect. So then we kind of just rub all this in. And then, you know, depending on what kind of grill you're using, go ahead. Depending on what kind of grill you're using, I would, you know, you're going to go about, I'd say, you know, 20 minutes aside. So what I did is I'm going to plan on cooking it about, you know, 10 minutes one way, 10 minutes another, and then I'll go ahead and turn it over, cook it 10 minutes. You know, when I say one way or another, I'm moving the chicken around on the grill. That way I know that I'm getting it, you know, evenly cooked.
And do you use time or do you use a thermometer?
I use a thermometer.
Okay.
This thing in my, well, I had it in my pocket.
Okay, all right.
Yes, there is a thing in my pocket I typically use.
But that's a great tool.
And then when I do, you know, temp it, I'm going in right here. So that's one way. I'm checking that bone right there. And then I'll come down and then I'll do the breast right straight down through there. And making sure that I'm hitting the thickest part of that chicken.
And you want it to be at, well, 165, 170?
165, right on the button. A lot of people have this tendency to want to cook over cooked chicken, and you just get to 165 and you're good.
I've heard of somebody that would say, cook it to about 160, it'll continue to cook.
It can do that. I would say 165 pull.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. We'll put it in the oven and we'll come back and see what we have. Stick around. More right here on North Dakota Today.
We're putting it on the grill, Mr. Mike.
Oh, sorry.